So today we're taking a deep dive into something pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's about why managed service providers, MSPs, are choosing Bakersfield, California for training.
Bakersfield.
Yeah, Bakersfield. You might be thinking Bakersfield
Mm-hmm.
for cutting-edge tech training.
Mm.
Not exactly Silicon Valley, is it?
Right. Not the first place that comes to mind.
But that's where things get kind of interesting.
It really is.
So-
What often gets overlooked, I think, are the unique advantages of a place like Bakersfield.
Okay.
It's a hub for both the oil industry and, a growing tech scene.
Mm-hmm.
This creates kind of a practical, results-oriented mindset
Yeah.
that's woven into the training that MSPs receive at a company called CharTec.
CharTec.
Yeah.
So it's not just about theory. It's about getting your hands dirty and figuring out what actually works.
Yeah.
I can see how that would be appealing to MSPs dealing with real-world tech issues day in and day out.
Yeah, absolutely.
They need that hands-on experience.
Exactly. And this approach is evident in the way CharTec structures their training. They've created this incredibly immersive experience.
Immersive, that's the word I was thinking of when I was reading about this. They handle everything, meals, lodging, even entertainment.
Right.
There's an in-house speakeasy. Right?
Yeah.
I'm picturing these late-night discussions about cybersecurity over craft cocktail.
That's called the library.
The library.
And it's become kind of a legend, but it's not just about the fun factor or anything. This all-inclusive approach minimizes distractions and allows participants to really fully focus on learning.
Makes sense. It creates a dedicated space where you can really absorb the material.
Yeah.
And connect with other MSPs too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But let's talk about the training itself. What specifically are people learning at CharTec?
So one of the core focuses is on sales and methodology. CharTec's founder, Alex Rogers, is a pioneer in the MSP space.
Mm-hmm.
And he's developed some incredibly effective techniques. For example, he teaches a strategy called the 10 Appointments in 10 Days Challenge. It's all about targeted outreach and building relationships with ideal clients.
That sounds intense.
Yeah, it's a challenge, but
I imagine it's effective.
it is.
And it's not just about sales, right? They cover other aspects of running an MSP, I would imagine.
Absolutely. CharTec has a team of specialists who cover everything, from operations and marketing to leadership and finance.
Okay.
And here's where it gets really interesting. They also provide access to a functioning MSP called ARRC Technology, which operates right out of the same facility.
Wait, so attendees can actually see a real-world MSP in action.
Yes. They can observe the Network Operations Center, or NOC, where technicians monitor and manage client systems. They can sit in on meetings with service managers and marketing teams. They can even get insights from the CFO about the financial side of the business.
Wow, that's a level of transparency and access you don't see very often.
Yeah.
What kind of insights would someone gain from observing the NOC, for example?
Well, they could see firsthand how a well-run NOC handles everything, from routine maintenance to emergency situations. They could learn about the tools and technologies used to monitor and manage client systems, and get a better understanding of the metrics that are tracked to ensure optimal performance.
So it's not just about the theory of how a NOC should operate. It's about seeing it in action and understanding the nuances of real-world implementation.
Precisely. And that kind of practical, hands-on learning is invaluable for MSPs looking to improve their own operations.
Makes sense. So it sounds like they've really thought of everything to give attendees a comprehensive understanding of what it takes to run a successful MSP. But let's face it, there are plenty of training programs out there, right?
Right.
What really sets CharTec apart? What are people saying about their experience?
The feedback from what I've seen has been overwhelmingly positive. Attendees consistently praise the quality of the instruction, the depth of knowledge that's shared, and the supportive community that's fostered during the training.
So it's not just about learning the technical aspects, it's also about the personal connections
Yeah,
and that sense of community.
absolutely. In fact, many attendees say that the relationships they build at CharTec are just as valuable as the technical training itself.
Wow.
They leave with a network of peers who understand their challenges and can offer support and guidance long after the training is over.
That's a huge benefit, especially in an industry that's constantly evolving. It's crucial to have that kind of support system,
It
right?
is.
But let's not forget about the results. Are MSPs actually seeing improvements in their businesses after attending CharTec training?
Yes, they are, and this is where the rubber really meets the road. We're not just talking about anecdotal evidence, we're talking about measurable results. MSPs who have implemented the strategies and techniques they learned at CharTec are reporting significant increases in sales, improved operational efficiency, and higher client satisfaction rates.
That's what we like to hear. Can you give us an example of a specific strategy that's had a real impact for an MSP?
One that comes to mind is a sales technique called the value ladder.
Value ladder, okay.
It's a framework for positioning your services in a way that highlights their value to clients. Instead of just listing features and prices, you're presenting a clear progression of solutions that address specific client needs and pain points. MSPs who have adopted this approach have seen a dramatic increase in their closing rates and average deal size.
So it's about moving away from transactional selling and focusing on building long-term value-driven relationships with clients. Makes sense.
Exactly.
This is all starting to sound like a bit of an MSP utopia.
Yeah.
But I have to ask, are there any downsides to this approach? Is there anything that potential attendees should be aware of?
Well, it's important to understand that this type of immersive training requires a significant investment of both time and money.
Yeah, that's a fair point. It's not just a quick webinar or online course, it's a multi-day commitment.
Right. And for some MSPs, that might be a barrier. They might not have the resources to send their entire team, or they might not be able to spare the time away from the business. But for those who can make the investment, the returns can be substantial.
So it's about weighing the costs and benefits
Yeah,
and determining if it's the right fit for your business at this particular time.
exactly. And it's important to emphasize that CharTec isn't a magic bullet. Simply attending the training doesn't guarantee success. It's what you do with the information and the connections you make that ultimately determines the outcome.
Yeah, that's true of any training program, really. It's about taking ownership of your learning
Hmm.
and putting in the work to implement what you've learned.
Absolutely. And that's where the community aspect comes in. The ongoing support and accountability that attendees receive from their peers and the SharTech team can make all the difference in helping them stay on track and achieve their goals.
So they've really created a comprehensive ecosystem to support MSPs at every stage of their journey. But let's go back to the location for a moment. Bakersfield might not be the first place that comes to mind for this type of training. Is there something specific about the location that contributes to the success of the program?
Well, as we mentioned earlier, Bakersfield has a unique blend of practicality and innovation. It's a place where getting things done is valued just as much as coming up with new ideas. And that ethos is reflected in the CharTech training.
So it's not just about the content of the training, it's also about the environment and the mindset that it fosters.
Precisely. And that's something that's difficult to replicate online or in a more traditional classroom setting. There's something about being in that environment, surrounded by like-minded individuals who are all focused on the same goals,
Yeah.
that creates a powerful energy and a sense of shared purpose.
It sounds like the kind of experience that stays with you long after you leave. But for those who can't make the trip to Bakersfield, are there any other ways to tap into the CharTech network and resources?
They do offer a variety of online resources, including webinars, podcasts, and blog posts. They also have an online community forum where MSPs can connect with each other and share best practices.
So even if you can't physically attend the training, there are still ways to benefit from their expertise and connect with the community.
Exactly. And that's a testament to their commitment to supporting MSPs everywhere, regardless of their location or circumstances.
It's impressive to see a company that's so dedicated to the success of its clients. But before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to circle back to something you said earlier about the importance of taking ownership of your learning. What advice would you give to MSPs who are looking to invest in their professional development, whether it's through CharTech or any other program?
I'd say first and foremost, be clear about your goals. What specifically are you hoping to achieve? What are your biggest challenges? And what skills or knowledge do you need to acquire to overcome them?
So start with a clear understanding of where you want to go, and then find the resources that will help you get there.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Reach out to your network, connect with industry experts, and seek out mentors who can guide you along the way.
That's great advice. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day grind and lose sight of the bigger picture, but taking the time to invest in your own development is essential for long-term success.
Absolutely. And it's an investment that pays dividends not only for your business, but also for your personal growth and satisfaction.
I think that's a perfect note to end on. We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, exploring the unexpected reasons why MSPs are choosing Bakersfield for training, and uncovering the key insights that make CharTech such a unique and valuable resource.
It's been a fascinating conversation,
Yeah.
and I hope our listeners have gained some valuable takeaways that they can apply to their own businesses.
Okay, so to wrap things up for our listeners today, we've learned that Bakersfield might not be the first place that comes to mind when you think about MSP training,
Right.
but there's something special happening there at CharTech.
There is.
It's a great example of how valuable it can be to look beyond those surface impressions, right?
Yeah.
We often make assumptions about places or experiences based on limited information.
Hmm.
And in this case, um, those who are willing to dig a little deeper are discovering a training program that's truly transformative.
It is.
And it's not just about the location either. It's about the comprehensive approach that CharTec takes.
Yeah.
They've created this immersive environment where attendees can fully focus on learning from industry experts, connecting with peers, and developing actionable strategies to grow their businesses.
Right.
We've also talked about the tangible results that MSPs are seeing after attending CharTec training. Increased sales, improved operational efficiency, and higher client satisfaction rates. These are outcomes that can have a real impact on the bottom line.
Absolutely.
It's clear that CharTec has struck a chord with the MSP community. But as we've discussed, there's an investment involved, both in terms of time and money. So for those who might be on the fence, what would you say is the key takeaway? What's the one thing that should tip the scales in favor of attending this training?
I think the biggest takeaway is the power of community.
Community.
The connections and relationships that attendees build at CharTec are just invaluable. They leave with a network of peers who understand their challenges and can offer support and guidance long after the training is over.
That's a powerful point. It's easy to feel isolated as an MSP owner, especially in the face of all this constant technological advancement and evolving client demands. Having a community of like-minded professionals to lean on can make all the difference.
It really can.
And it's not just about the emotional support either. It's also about the practical benefits of sharing knowledge and best practices. Imagine being able to just pick up the phone and call someone who's already solved the problem that you're facing right now. Or having access to this network of experts who can provide insights and advice on a wide range of topics.
That's right.
It's like having an extended team of advisors at your fingertips.
Precisely. And that's a resource that's hard to put a price tag on.
So true. So for those who are looking to take their MSP to the next level, investing in training like what CharTec offers could be the key to unlocking their full potential.
I completely agree with that. It's an investment in yourself, your team, and the future of your business.
Well said. It's been an eye-opening deep dive, exploring the unexpected reasons why MSPs are flocking to Bakersfield for training and uncovering the valuable insights and strategies that are driving their success.
It's been great chatting with you.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. And remember, sometimes the most rewarding experiences are found in the most unexpected places. So keep exploring, keep learning, and keep challenging those assumptions. Until next time, see ya.